Hey, we're looking at Google, specifically GOOGL, as opposed to the same stock without the L. It's the same company, but Google with the L, it's a it's a lower costing stock to buy. It's the same thing, but again, lower cost, so it's easier for us to acquire shares of this one. Last time we looked at them was the 19th of March, so about a month ago. At that time, it was trading at 101. It's now at 108, so it's gone up. We can expand this for 1 month. It kind of just shot up and then flat, but still rising, it looks like. Um, we had a resistance point marked at 142, so still potential room to grow. And then we also made a note that it was in a short term uptrend. It looks like it has continued for this month. Um, Yeah, so just some of the news that we saw. We'll go over some news and then go into the technical analysis. And again, I'm just going to go over really broad strokes here. If you want to share some more insight on them in the comments or ask a question or really just share an opinion, feel free to leave it in the comment. I'd be happy to read that. But going into the news, so apparently some Indian startups, um, and I think specifically like it goes on to say like Match and Tinder, Tinder owner Match Group, and I guess it's a few other companies. They're joining up for this antitrust probe for Google because when someone makes a purchase in their app or on their app, apparently Google is taking a cut of that for being in their marketplace or their Play Store, and they're saying that that shouldn't be the case. Um, that third party transaction fee should go to the third party, and then ultimately they would get their share, and Google should be left out of it. So we'll see how that plays out. Something else, so Google's come up with their new AI chip, uh, and they're saying it's faster than NVIDIA's. And you know what? That's fine. In all honesty, if they do have something like that, they're not in that business. So I just feel like, at least in this moment, that if Google does have something that's better, they're not going to be sharing that with anybody. Like, they're not going to be selling that to anybody. Uh, if anything, if they made a better chip, hopefully NVIDIA can match them faster. They can kind of check their technology, possibly. But NVIDIA is in the chip business, so this just means nothing to me really, because I just feel like Google is one of those one in a million type companies. Yes, they have the funds to make their own AI chip. What about the other 1,000, 10,000, 100,000 companies that they want capabilities like this, but they just can't afford to build their own? So they're just going to go to NVIDIA. So I'm not. It's interesting to hear. I'd like to see if that's true, uh, as like more information comes out about this, but I'm not too concerned about that for either company, Google or NVIDIA, because we follow NVIDIA too. Um, they, yeah, so Google reportedly plans to add Bard AI, so they're now adding another AI. I don't know if that was an acquisition. I'm not sure if it mentions it, but um, I'm sure this is going to be in collaboration with that Chat GPT that they purchased. They're trying to just make it better, and we'll continue to follow that. Uh, so their CEO, Sundar, he announced that their AI chatbot is going into their search engines. We'll see how that plays out. Um, should yield better search results. I mean, that's kind of the goal. And if they can do that, then they can provide a better service for everybody that uses them. Something else, so South Korea is fining Google $32 million for blocking release of games on competitors' platforms. This is new to me. Um, I must have read it differently before, but because I was thinking they weren't allowing certain games on, Google Play Store or something when they should have been. I thought that was the situation, but reading it a second time, South Korea is fining Google for blocking release of games on competitor platforms. Um, I don't know how they would be able to do that, but we will see how this one shakes out. For blocking the release of mobile video games on a competitor's platform. This must be on like Google's phone or something. Somehow they're blocking it. Um, on Tuesday, Google bolstered its market dominance. Google Play One Store's revenue value as a platform by requiring video game makers to exclusively release their titles on Google Play in exchange for providing in-app exposure between the 16th and 18th. Move against U.S. technology giant is part of efforts for government to ensure fair markets. That Google's action include Netmarble, Nexon, some other companies, was fined more than 200 billion won uh, for blocking customized versions of its Android operating system. We'll continue to watch this. If you understand it more than me, please let me know. Next, we have Google to ask the judge to toss this antitrust lawsuit. Basically, this one goes into how Google pays other platforms like Apple, LG, Motorola, Samsung, carriers like Verizon, and browsers like Mozilla to use Google as the default. Apparently, the government doesn't like that. They don't think it's fair. Google's saying, "Hey, this is how it is. You know, the payments are legal revenue sharing deals and not illegal efforts." We'll see how this plays out. It sounds like Google has a clear case here. At least that's how it's reading to me. We'll see how it plays out because never know. But it sounds like they'll be okay with this one. Next, we have AI-powered chatbot Perplexity. This one's new. It's backed by big names from Google and Meta. So this is a new AI device. We kind of knew this was going to be the trend. It is a big trend right now. So we'll see what this one turns into. Google's behind it, also Meta, so I have high expectations. But we'll see. Hopefully we can just see more about this in the future. But going to our technicals. So that was the news. If I missed anything and you want to share, by all means, let me know in the comments. If you have any questions, also feel free to let me know in the comments. But yeah, so looking at this one, we marked out how it was in this uptrend. It looks like it's now accelerating, or possibly just the uptrend range is like wider. So also I want to see, are they releasing their financials soon? In about a week or two, they're going to come out with their earnings, so very excited to see how that plays. But going into this, trying to make it just like as parallel as possible, and we'll make that yellow or like a gold. Something like that. That seems pretty parallel. If this could potentially be the uptrend we're on, so it's not like crazy high growth, but we'll have to see how next week goes. If it pulls back a little bit, does it keep growing? That'll kind of be the decider for us. But right now, that kind of seems like the range. So slight uptrend though. I guess going back to this, we're still at a decent spot to buy. 100 was the mark. We're at 108. The fair price is 121, so I still feel like this is a good deal. Obviously, it was better before, but you know, it seems at a good price to me. I think just to play it safe, I probably will just add a little bit into this. Again, nothing major. Really just my preference. I want to build out a little more. I guess I'll look at how much exposure I have into Google before I make a decision. But you know, if I have a small to medium position, I'll probably, like I said, add a share or two. Even at this price, I'll probably give it a couple days just to see if it does pull back during this week before their earnings come out. We'll see. I'll give it a little bit of time, see if it can pull back. If we look at the after hours, didn't do anything. Yeah, we'll give it a couple days, maybe Wednesday. If it's still in the same place, I'd probably add it. If it drops lower, even better. If it goes higher, I probably won't buy it. It will, and that's the point of giving a couple days. We'll see how it plays out. But just to kind of summarize, we have Google down here. Uh, Currently at 108, the buy point's at 100, so we marked it orange because it's, to me, close to a move. I'm I'm willing to kind of take a little bit of a step forward with this one, but that's just me. And then resistance at 142. We also marked the short-term uptrend, and that their financial statements are coming out in about 10 days. So I'm very interested to see how that plays out. Uh, but yeah, that pretty much wraps this up. Again, if you have any questions or want to add some insight here, I'd love to see that in the comments. Outside of that, please like, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.